just want you guys to imagine. Just imagine waking up not knowing if the food is safe to eat, or the drink is safe to drink, or the space that you need to sleep is safe. For millions out there, it isn't just a bad day. It's their daily reality, their daily struggles that they face every single day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Namila binti Harikatin, and I'll be sharing to you guys one of the global issues that most serious that face today is poverty. Poverty isn't just an absence of money. It's an absence of opportunity, educations, and hopes to someone that are truly can, but they just can't do it because of the absence of it. Through this presentation, I'll be showing to you guys what poverty truly means, what it costs, how it impacts, and how us can reduce the poverty that are happening today.
Your dignity is tied to every other human being on earth. When millions of us struggle to survive, human energy is diminished. When so many of us are still hungry, human potential is suffocated. Poverty has many forms, but no borders. To become fully human, we must free ourselves from the tyranny of poverty and from the grip of hunger everywhere. As we end poverty, true prosperity begins. As we end hunger, we all start to flourish. We have the ability, means, and capacity to create a world where all humans have dignity and our potential is fully realized. This is the story you are shaping.
By definition. By definition, what is poverty? Poverty is a state where people or communities that are lack of resources to meet a minimum basic standard of living. This doesn't mean only lack of money, it also includes limited access to healthcare, education, clean water or infrastructure just for them to feel safe. And according to the World Bank, there are 9% of global population lives in extreme poverty. That's maybe like 1 in 10 people are facing it. Let's say we are Malaysians. We are the person is living in Malaysia. They are probably spend less than 10 ringgit. Can you barely live here spend than 10 ringgit? Do anyone here yesterday spend less than 10 ringgit? No, you spend more, but they spend less than 10 ringgit just to barely live in this earth. Next, there are many causes of poverty that are, but I'll just gonna focus on 4 today. First is globalization, advanced technology, education and skills, gender, and race inequality. Each of these factors plays a huge role in determining who become poor or who stays poor. Let's begin with globalization. When you think of globalization, we think about connected our country to another country, boost the international trades, right? But it's actually increase the gap between the rich and the poor. One example is brain drain. What is brain drain? Let me put some examples, like put myself in these examples. Let's say I am skilled and educated workers from developing countries like Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the developing countries, right? So I am skilled, hardworking workers, but I want to fly to another country to work because of their rich nation. Because of this, we actually make our country going slower because we are lack of professionals, qualities to work, and it make the local development slower. That's into the negative side of globalization. However, in positive sides, is actually we can make the economic growth by opening trade and global market, so that developing countries can continue to grow and improve their living standards. And globalization also a key to reduce poverty and increase economic growth in countries integrated in the global market. Next, let's move on to advance in technology. When we are talking about advance in technology, we actually think, isn't advance in technology help society to progress? Isn't technology help us to become a better future, a better lifestyles, better life? Like examples, the smart TV that we're having now, it's actually help us to learn better, more understanding what teachers teaching us. But actually, technology also can bridge a gap between those who can adapt and who can't adapt to it. This is a report. I know it is quite a lot of information that you guys probably don't know what it is, but I just want to explain it. But as you can see here, high risk and 54%. That means some of the jobs out there could actually be replaced by automotive. For examples, in China. In China, there are high-end technology that actually being replaced. Workers being replaced by jobs, by robots, by artificial intelligence. So even though they have a lot of people out there, but it still is one of the high risks. Next. The rich will learn and adapt, continue to grow wealthier, while the poor are left further behind. What does that mean? That means workers in developing countries often struggles to compete with advanced economy that rely on high-end technology, because they need to require, when they are applying to job, they require to have digital skills like coding, artificial intelligence, or website development. Some people this actually create a skills gap that makes some poor communities lack access to it. Next. Education and skills. Education play a big role in breaking the cycle of poverty.
I have never understood why some people are lucky enough to be born with the chance that I have to have this kind of life, and why across the world there's a woman just like me, the same abilities, the same desires.
Higher levels of education generally lead to a better job job opportunities and higher wages. Do you guys agree with this statement or do you guys don't agree? Or you guys feel so? I agree. Okay, one agree, or maybe some of you guys probably feel like it could be yes and it could be no. It's in the middle. I understand that. So, I fully agree with this statement. So probably you guys are a bit different from me, but it's okay. Yes. So, just now when it said that people with higher levels of education generally lead to a better job opportunities, it's true because whoever lack in demand skills may be limited to lower paying jobs. This actually can make it harder for them to improve their financial situation. Plus, poor education also reduces social mobility. Means that people who are born into poor family find it harder to change their circumstances. That means they cannot break the cycle because they are living poor and they feel like, I cannot do this. See? Next. Gender and race inequality. So, gender and race inequality also play a major factor. Because why? Next. I'll give examples. Women itself sometimes often paid less than men but just doing the same job. We paid less. A globally woman earns 77 cents for every dollar earned by men. But we just doing the same job while we are often paid less. This actually contributes to a long-term financial insecurity, particularly in the old age. It will affect not today but soon. And some women, because of the gender itself, majority of them will work in unpaid domestic work like childcare, elder care, cooking. Nothing so much of skills. We just look, taking care of it, probably update about something. There's not much skills is going on in them. This actually limits their ability to pursue paid employment or full-time jobs because of this kind of mindset. And if we go for race inequality, we give examples back then in America, in the United States of America.
In South Africa, black and white people live side by side, but their lives are worlds apart. In places like Cape Town, black and white communities are just a few meters apart. But while one side has backyards, clean water, and internet, the other side struggles with overcrowding and fewer basic services. These divisions go back to apartheid, which forced black people into separate areas. Even though apartheid ended in 1994, the impact is still felt today. If you found this surprising, hit subscribe.
So, just now it's talk about apartheid, and if you guys remember that we learned history back then, when we are Form 5, we know that in South Africa, they divide black and white. Everything, black and white. And how sad this is, even until today, some people still doesn't want to be together. They want to be black, white, and white. So, how actually all of these can impact to poverty? I'm going to talk about the health and social problems and how impact can slow economic growth and how impact can make poor public policy choices. Health and social problems. Because of poverty, it actually creates a major health challenges. In many developing countries, people must pay out of pocket out of pocket payment which can lead to financial burden. In Africa, for example, more than 150 million poorer because of this cost, and 200 people face burden to pay health services. What does this mean? Out of pocket payment means that they can't afford healthcare, so they delay the treatment. When they delay the treatment, their health getting worse. And when they are delayed, they cut off their spending on basics like food, housing, and utilities. So they're getting more poorer because of this sick. Like from this report, high healthcare costs in Africa continue to push over 150 million into poverty. So it's actually one of the concerns because of you need to pay someone that are sick, you just need to cut off any businesses. Like spend more than less and lesser in your basic lives. Probably you can't even eat a day because you need to pay for the medical costs. Children who grew up in poverty often face the long-term effects. It is because they will face malnutrition, lack of vitamins, even emotional distress from their financial family struggles. According to UNICEF, even a temporary period of poverty can have a long-lasting impact on a child's cognitive development, physical and mental health, and their opportunities as an adult. Some children, this actually could affect them as children pick up family financial worries, and even babies can sense stress from their parents. If a parent could make the baby giggles and laugh, well, when a parent is argue about the medical costs, stressing about the financial burden, it actually even can affect a babies, a newborn that will just try to survive in this world. These are one of the examples of the effects of malnutrition. Like this is rickets. Ricket is the bone that are bending in or out because of lack of vitamin D. That means they have low source of milk. They probably don't drink milk. Maybe they are struggling with dirty tap water. You never know. And then this one that are like most common is kwashiorkors and marshmallows, because overall they are lack of calories and protein. They probably don't eat meat. They don't eat chicken. They don't have that. We don't know what they eat. Some children also that live in poverty cause extra hardship to them because they become a target of bullying. Why? Because the bully see the children that live in poverty is weak, because they, like I said, they have a lot of medical problem. Probably they are skinny, probably they have very low stamina, so it's become their easy target of the bully. When this bully and trauma, living in poverty can actually lead to mental health, like depression, anxiety, or even worse, PTSD, that giving them trauma for a long term. And people from poverty background may be denied access to a better employment opportunities that make them trapped in low-paying informal jobs that lack of benefit, social protection, and harder for them to escape poverty. This is like one of the examples. So, of education access. So this is, I was highly pointed to girls because according to UNICEF, 720 million women alive today were married as children as compared to 156 million men. That means there are child marriage. The reason they have a lot. One of it is because the poor families might marry off their daughter to reduce the financial burden. So marriage can bring, like, when they are married, they need to bring prices to the bride. So that costs money and they want that. They want money. Or they think that if their daughter is already married, so it was not their responsibility to feed the daughter. So girls from poor background often have less access to education or jobs. So they or their families feel marriage is the only options. When you are married at a young age, you cannot go to school. You cannot go to school and learn. You cannot go and hang out with your friends because you have a husband to take care of and probably a child that just born. That's how ridiculous excuses for you to marry your daughter just to have the bride cost. And how actually poverty can impact the economy. It actually can lower the economic growth as it actually has excessive inequality may hinder overall economic progress and reducing the investment in human capital and public goods. Government might also make a poor public choices that favor for the wealthy and neglecting the needs for the poor. And this leads to slower development and weaker economy in the long run. So, what we can do to reduce poverty? So, one key solution is to invest in human capital. And that means improving education and healthcare. Next. Providing a quality education from early childhood education is actually helping them since child, and government also can investing in vocational training and job placement program to increase their earning potential. Healthcare, when people are healthy and educated, they can contribute more effectively to society and lift themselves out from the poverty. Another solution is fair labor practice, the living wage. Ensure that workers earn enough to meet their basic living needs, reducing poverty and income inequality. Just enough to meet a basic living needs actually can reduce the poverty. Like utilities, food, drinks, this actually helps a lot to them to survive on the next day. Or they can do strengthening labor unions that also can empower workers to organize and collective bargain and improve wage and working conditions. Where workers are treated fairly and can live comfortably, poverty levels naturally goes down. In conclusions, poverty isn't just about lack of money, it's about lack of opportunity, fairness, and access to basic human needs. It's a complex problem caused by globalization, technology, education, technology inequality, and limited of education, but it's also a problem that we can solve through collective effort. By investing in people and promoting fairness in the workplace, we can create a more equal world where everyone has a chance to thrive. Remember this quote, and poverty empowers lives, because every action counts, and even yours. Thank you so much for listening. Any questions before I end? Yes.
So my question is,
Yes.
for the poor, like you said, they are unable to pay for healthcare. Right? So how are they gonna take care of themselves if they don't even have enough money? Do you suggest that they pay through they're sick right now, right? And then they pay straight away for their healthcare issues, or should they give it?
If they leave it, they will die.
Yeah, like I said, do you
If they
suggest
see the symptoms, they should go and seek the doctor as soon as possible.
and how are they gonna get money?
That's what is it. It's a lack of resources of money. So when we have this kind of issues, they delay, or they need to spend. Let's say, when we are sick, we don't know we are sick, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. There's no like emergency saying that, oh, you're gonna sick tomorrow. No. So what we can do, probably, this is like their choice. I'm thinking on their side. Probably they are cutting off their basic needs, like food. Probably they will eat lesser, or they will spend less on food. Probably they don't eat 2 days meals, probably they just eat 1 day meals, just to treat any of family members they are sick. You get it?
But if they want to, like you said, to avoid that, cutting off the money for the healthcare they need to take care of, do you suggest they straight away go to the hospital and give them pain? Or do you suggest they cut off their food supplies just to pay for further healthcare issues that they will face in the future?
It actually depends. Who are sick?
Okay, for example, it's you.
This is me.
And you have poverty right now.
If this was me, then probably someone aged like me, probably a girl, probably they need to pay straight away.
Straight away. So you're going to pay straight away.
Yeah. Because if you don't pay straight away, the other family members will face as well. It depends. Let's say it's an old grandma, old woman, or old man. Probably I will just, or even probably a dad, or someone that are financially support the family. They need to pay straight away. If they don't pay, everyone gonna affected. Everyone gonna feel the financial burden to not having access to just to eat on that day. Any questions?
Do you suggest, in your opinion, do you think technology is overcoming our source of income?
Yes. It's actually, you can't see it now because, like I said, we are not really moving so fast.
In China, for example.
China is really fast. Like, they are fast. We don't, there's some of the factories that are in China, it's actually don't even use a human to help them to increase their sales growth or economic growth in their
Issues, I don't know. So that the human can work instead of AI.
Should they cut off the robots?
Should they do? Instead of replacing their jobs, human can do it themselves. Do you suggest that?
No. Human should probably, in my opinion, probably human can actually apply to more new skills. Probably they don't have someone to fix the robots that they are working on, and the robots is broken. So they, when the workers are the human can fix the robots. So humans can apply for better skills that can fix the robots, so that humans can also have the job.